Jerusalem was teeming, and the air was full of gas, and the cars were backed up to the old New Jersey underpass. I bought a hot dog, gulped it down. My God, I gotten lean. I just spent 40 days and nights in a heavy desert scene. I turned in time to see a bunch of dudes in bathrobes at me run, shouting, shaking fists of hatred, screaming, "Get him! He's the one!" When I got so scared, I felt as though I had to use the John. So I ran to find a men's room. All I found was some old barn. I thought it was a good place. It seemed empty as can be. When out of nowhere walks this Billy Goat. He's trimming his goatee. He says, "I bear the guilt and sins that man commits from fear, but it looks as though I've been reprieved. They're using you this year." Well, again the crowd was coming, so I shots off like a fly, and I ducked inside this sideshow, putting on a quick disguise. I barely finished when the crowd came bursting in the door, and the barker said, "Dig that one." And the lotus on the floor, in charcoal on my forehead, I'd wrote the Son of Man, and synthesized with ketchup, bleeding feet and bleeding hands. I guess I fooled them for a while, 'cause they went outside at last, so I split and feeling dirty, headed for the public baths. I shed my clothes, grabbed a towel, and dove into the steam, and I sat next to this stranger who reeked of Benzedrine. "Whom do I have the pleasure?" I said, chirping like a bird. He said, "Judas Arnold Benedict Iscariot the Third." Well, I told him of my troubles, and he says he has an in. He says, "I'll go talk to my friend Pancho," flashed his $30 grin. Well, rushing out, the boy soon returned with Pancho and his force. He said, "Get your threads," and mumbled something nuts about a cross. I said, "Judas boy, is this the way you help a friend get loose?" He said something incoherent. He was speeding like a goose. Well, Pancho takes me in his chamber, and he pumps me full of booze, and he lays it to me straight, and he says, "Are you the king of the Jews?" I said, "Man, I'm from Dallas. I runs a laundromat. I'm on a month's leave vacation. I gotta soon be getting back." Well, Pancho washed his hands and said, "Nowhere will you go. We've booked you for this gig, and we gotta give the crowd a show." So they puts me in a zoot suit with a hat made out of thorns, and Barack Obama danced and passed out hats and New Year's horns. And then my mother runs up from behind and yells that classic quip. She said, "You'll be successful like your dad, just keep a stiff upper lip." So I stiffened up the both of them and said, "You sure this will not fail?" But just then someone spread my hands and hammered in the nails. The show got rave reviews. The promoters all got paid. It outdoes My Fair Lady in Oklahoma and Rent and Thoroughly Modern Millie. It runs every single day. And the laundromat went bankrupt, and my mom became a shrew. She shacked up with this here deceased Greek who owns a fleet of ships or two. And me, I say, if you're uptight, baby, don't hit the public baths. You might find yourself in there with Bill Gates, Oprah, John Ronager. You're broke, and they got all the